I'm going over to the clinic and I'll be there all day. I'm starting to build my schedule back up, so that's a good thing. But then I was
Cool.
like, oh, well, I need to pack lunch and pack a little snack for dinner. And yeah,
How far is the clinic from your house?
it's about 22 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not too far. It's about as far as away as the boathouse. And
hmm
that's where I was treating for a while. So it's about the same ride. So yeah,
Is how far is it from the boathouse?
maybe 5 minutes from the boat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Nice.
yeah, it's closer to the boathouse. It's on like the east side of the city. Like I live on the west side, like out in Greece, and then
hmm
my clinic's in like the Henrietta, Pittsford area, which is kind of like south and east.
hmm
But closer to most of the people who row. Like most of the rowing clubs are either in the city or they're on the east side. So like out by Pittsford, Fairport. Yeah, Pittsford and Fairport on the canal. So
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah, so tell us more about what's happening at the clinic. Like, what are you doing?
Right now, this week is what I call open enrollment. So
Mm,
anyone who's worked with me, I send them out an email talking about, it being the end of the year and if there's anything that they're still working on or they need to work on. Because sometimes, someone will see me for an injury and then we'll wrap all that up and then maybe they'll want to work on performance. So I've got a special right now where you can buy 5 sessions or buy 6 sessions for the price of five. So that's open enrollment, and that goes on for this whole week. And then I have a coaches and like crew team coordinators open house, and that's going to be on November 20th. So just to invite people to the clinic so they can see it and just kind of get coaches together to kind of just talk and stuff. I feel like a lot of times when coaches see each other, it's like we're at a regatta, so everybody's really
mhm.
busy. So you have time to like, talk about the niceties and be like, oh yeah, everything's good, but oh, I got to get back to the trailer, or I'm going to be launching this boat soon. Like you don't get a chance to like have like real conversations. So I'm hoping that the open house will be an opportunity to have a nice conversation in a nice warm, not raining, wet, or by the water opportunity or place. So I've got that open house. I'm also working with the coordinators for Brighton Burn, and I'm going to be doing like a training program. And right now I have like the basic framework worked out. People will sign up. They'll join the crew lab crew team. In crew lab, all the workouts will be in there. And the workouts will start. I'm aiming for mid-December, like for people to do like within crew lab, there's like base workouts you can do. So like it's like the 1 minute, the 2K, the 6K, a 10K, and an hour long piece. So those are all like your base workouts. And so that'll give you kind of like a graph of like benchmark workouts, and you can look at how your performance compares to everybody else who's on that crew lab team. And then once you have that information, you can decide like what 2K I want to aim for. Now 2K is probably like 2K is if you're aiming for 1K, it's going to be like 3 or 4 splits lower. So like
hmm
the two even 2K, then you would like aim for like a 257 or 256 for your 1K. But there's a calculator in Crew Lab that will tell you what you need to aim for the intensities, like so based on watts. Like so say you don't row a 740, but you want to row a 740, you could see what type of pace you would have to keep in order to practice to get to there. So I was hoping that I'd be able to use that, teach people how to use Crew Lab. The other thing is that it also will tell you whether you're overtraining or overreaching. So if there's a particular workout that you did that is more intense than workouts you have done, Crew Lab will let you know that. And so then you can back off a little bit. So it keeps you from getting injured.
hmm
So I'm hoping to do this Crew Lab Brighton Burn collaboration, get that all set up. Today's the beginning of November, so hopefully by the end of the week I'll have my thoughts completely congealed on that. One other thing I wanted to do for the clinic is to do a like almost like a New Year's goal setting party. And I might
mm
do that like as a webinar. So that might come out in December also.
Okay.
The last thing would be workshops. So, if there's any coaches out there or any crew teams that would like to have a workshop, I've done workshops like fix your rowing, fix your back. I've done the key exercises for rowers workshop. There was another one. I think it was like rowing for longevity. And then I have another workshop that I've done, which is like what I do for like CrossFit gyms, like so how to improve your rowing.
So nice.
So like learning the
Gotta
real
make
rowing
sure.
technique.
Yeah.
So yeah, so workshops are a really great way, and workshops are free. So if someone wants to get in contact with me and have a workshop for your crew team, workshops are free. And I come out and I provide that information. And then if people want to work with me more closely, then we can set up calls to do stuff like that. So yeah, that's the basics of the clinic right now. I've got a couple more things to do before people come to the clinic in mid-November or like November before, like the 20th. It'll be before Thanksgiving. A little bit more painting, organizing, hanging things up. I just, when like, 'cause I got the clinic like the week before October, like that was like the last week in September. And I just want to like get all my stuff in there. Like I just like start treating. And so like slowly but surely every week I've been kind of like moving this here and changing that there and hanging this up. So hopefully by the time everybody comes to see it in November, on November 20th, it'll be what it will be going forward. But I've moved the rowing machines around like 3 or 4 different times. But
And you
it's
have plenty of space for all of that and everything.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
the clinic is about 1,000 square feet, and then
Hmm.
I have like kind of like an office area, which is nice. So that's where I have like my treatment table, my desk. I try to keep things kind of minimalist because I want there to be space to do like to put down a mat and do exercises or to do something different. So then there's like kind of like a gym space, and that's where the rowing machines, it has like 3 big windows. The rowing machines are in front of the windows. I have the bio rower set up, which really takes up quite a bit of space. The
Hmm.
C2 machines, like I think I've left like maybe 6 of them out, and they're all kind of lined up next to the bio rower, and those are kind of against the wall. And then the space behind that is basically gym space for like pulling out boxes to do step ups, and I have like a weight bench. I really want to get a rig, like a weightlifting rig, but I haven't found one that's the right size yet because it really needs to be kind of compact. And I don't know if I can get the kind that fold up against the wall because like the ceiling height is just enough to stand an erg up. So I think the ceiling
Okay.
height is about 8 feet. So
Okay.
next time when I look for a place, I'm going to try to get a ceiling height that's much higher. Right now, I'm training or working with a sprinter, and he's a jumper also. I'm like, and he's so fit. It's like weird because he's fast twitch. Like his rowers tend to be like slow twitch. So like we just don't have that type of explosivity. And like like when he jumps, I feel like he's gonna jump through the ceiling. Like it's like so like boingy, springy. Like it's like oh my gosh. Um, so like in order to accommodate that going forward, the next time I look for a space, which I have this lease for 2 years.
Hmm.
So 2 years sounds like a long time, but it really,
It goes
really
by
isn't.
fast.
It's
Yeah.
quite quick. I mean, I'm already down to 23 months now because I already have a month. So yeah, so it's just a matter of kind of keeping my eyes open and continuing to look for spaces that will make sense. I hate the idea that I'm already like just got this, now I'm looking for another space, but seeing how long it took me to find this one, I'm like, oh my gosh, I really should continue to look on boards and get an idea of where I want to be. They do have other spaces in this particular plaza, but I don't think any of them have taller ceilings. Like there are first floor spaces. Right now I'm on the second floor, which I really didn't
Hmm.
to be, but that's where I am. But it's been working out. It's been really, really great. And my clients have been really happy. And we're not in the boathouse anymore. And it's not cold and musty and boathousey. I mean,
Hmm.
nothing against the boathouse. I mean, like, thank you to Jesse Waterways for letting me use the erg room space. But it's a boathouse. So
Hmm.
people running through, dirty sneakers,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. It's nice that like my floors are so clean that I can just like lie down on them. Like if
Yeah.
show somebody an exercise, I just get down on the ground. I'm like, it doesn't matter, like it's clean. So
Yeah.
that's what's really been neat about it.
Yeah, definitely. Is there outside space that you can use too, or is it not really usable?
Yeah, I mean the
No.
outside space, like I can't, yeah, there really isn't anything that like I couldn't bring the ergs outside or anything like
Hmm.
that. There was a space that I looked at that had like a garage door and like you could roll the ergs out and that
Hmm.
was really, really good, but that space was really big. Like,
Oh,
like
okay.
that's like you kind of have to like balance like the cost of the space per month and like how
Hmm.
much you're going to use it. And
Yeah.
I'm hoping like as over the next 2 years to build the clientele to really build the clinic so that I'll need a space that can accommodate some really fun stuff like being able to roll the ergs outside or having a big like garage door where you can open it up and let the fresh air in during the nicer months or being close like the one place I was looking at was close enough to the boathouse that if I left my bike there I could have rode my bike down the river path and gotten to
Yeah.
the boathouse. So in the future, maybe. I mean, you just never know what opportunities are going to kind of come up, and but I'm excited for just kind of like getting the ball rolling for this. Like it's kind of
Yeah.
what I would like because the clinic will be 4 years old in
Hmm.
in April, and this is kind of
Wow.
like what I always thought it would be like. It'd be like its own place and
Hmm.
like having little rowing machines and I've been doing my erg classes there and that's been working out really well. So yeah, I'm very excited and continuing to grow. So if anyone wants to get out there and support me and and my little rowing dream and come along on the rowing on the square journey, please check out all of my offerings that will be coming up in the next couple months. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe we can have a little reunion workout together.
Oh my gosh.
Invite all the UB people that we rode with.
Oh my gosh, this is such a great idea. I'm gonna write that down. A reunion workout. But thinking about reunions and alumni and
Yeah.
yeah, so we did the alumni 8 on
How'd it go?
it went really well.
Good.
It was a little bit wild because, at the beginning of the week, there were the six people there
Mhm.
was that do like a Friendsgiving is what it's called, I guess. So,
Yeah.
been their tradition like ever since they graduated. They've done this Friendsgiving thing. So
Oh, it's
it
cute.
just happened to coincide with the regatta. So that's and only one person from that group was actually on the alumni.
Oh,
So that's how they found out. So it was just the one person. So if she didn't see it, we wouldn't have caught those
yeah.
ladies. And oh my gosh, they are the sweetest sweethearts. They totally remind me of us,
Oh,
but like I don't know,
younger.
10 or 12 years earlier. Like
Yeah.
a couple of them had their husbands were there and they had small little babies. And I'm like,
Mm.
oh, I remember when we were like that. And like their parents, their moms and dads came out. Their moms and dads were like like people were cheering. The only people who were cheering were for them. It was just wild. It warmed my heart to see all their moms and dads came down to like the trailer and the husbands and they were taking pictures and they found I guess there's like an old UB banner that they found. So they took pictures with that. And so it was just really, really fun. And at the beginning of the week, we had to get the registration in and there were like I think two other people who said they could come and then they couldn't come and then you weren't able to come out because the
Hmm.
scheduling. And so then
Hmm.
I was going to Cox, but then I was going to row, but then we needed one extra person. So a shout out to Jen, who's my doubles partner. She is a Bucknell alum. So she said close enough. She went to a school that had to be in it too. So so she rowed in the boat. So we were the two plus the six. And then one of the girls in the boat knew a coxswain. And
Oh,
so
good.
she made, and I think she was wearing like a UB track jacket. So I don't know if
Oh.
maybe she went to UB, but like
Hmm.
did track potential and maybe did a little bit of coxing. I don't know. But yeah, it was really great. And we borrowed a boat from Genesee Waterways. And little did I know that the boat that they usually row was on a trailer that broke down because of like an electrical slash fire issue.
Mm.
So this trailer was somewhere between Saratoga and here with this boat on it. And that was the boat that they usually rode. So there was a boat that was outside of the boathouse. Like, you know how you always put the boat outside? It's
Hmm.
like one step before it's like it gets cut up. And so
Hmm.
but it actually got used because the other boat was missing. So, but that boat didn't have, well, originally I didn't know it didn't have speakers. Um, and the stroke seat was missing. And then we realized because the 8 was going to be out at the same time as the 4 that we would need 4 extra oars. So we rode with 4 oars that were wooden and 4 oars that were black suede handled. Um And then when we arrived to like, so Thursday night is their usual practice, so they de-rigged everything on Thursday, and then Friday they were like, "Oh, anybody who's available, go out to to the high school practice because it was going to go on Mercy's trailer." And so it was like me and like three other people, and only one other person who was there had ever loaded a trailer before. So like two of them didn't know how to strap, and like it was like raining sideways,
Oh, yeah.
cold.
Yeah.
Like so I arrive and like I get there and I'm the only person in the parking lot. I'm like on a trailer loading day, that's never a good sign.
Oh no. And that was on Halloween?
It was
Or
Halloween.
oh
I'm
my
like,
gosh.
oh my gosh, this is crazy. So I'm like, all right. So when a couple people showed up and then they're just kind of like we're all staring at each other, like I went into like coach mode. I was like, all right, let's go get
Hmm.
this on the trailer. And like we had to grab people to help us because we had to put it not on Skyrack, but the one below Skyrack. And that's still kind of hard to put up if you don't
Yeah.
have people. Luckily the
Hmm.
guys were like, old dudes and they were like super tall.
Mm.
Um so that was really helpful. We got the 8 on, we got the 4 on, and we put the double on the trailer. Then we got the oars and got everything all set. And then like at the very last moment we figured out we need those extra 4 oars. So we're digging through like an old pile of oars in the boathouse to try to figure out which ones to bring. And bringing like the sculling blades for the double and everything, um, and then so it all worked out. We got there Saturday morning. I told everybody to get there kind of early. I was like, okay, let's get there at 7:45. The race wasn't until 10. Coaches Cox's meeting wasn't until 8:30, but I just felt like I didn't know everybody and I didn't know how skilled everybody would be or how much
Hmm.
like would people bring tools and like and we used every from the moment 7:45 up until we launched at like 9:15 we used every single moment because by the time we got the boat down we rigged it up. People were moving their shoes. Someone went up to Coaches Coxon's meeting. Someone went and got the packet. Someone had put the bow number on. We got back to the boat, and it was like maybe 15 minutes before we left that we realized there weren't any speakers. But like I had planned it out that I had gotten a Cox box. So I just didn't anticipate that that would be something
Hmm.
that it wouldn't have speakers. And then well, it had wiring but no speakers. And what they were going to do is they were going to borrow the speakers from the 4 and put them in the 8. But we were rowing at the same time as the 4. So we wouldn't have had speakers to use, but luckily it was like the giving tree. Like everybody just kind of showed up whenever we needed something, like when we needed the seat for stroke seat, someone gave us one. And when we needed straps, because we didn't have straps, someone gave us straps. And so like the final thing was the speakers. And one of the coaches who was just kind of hanging out there, he's like, "Oh, I got 2 speakers in my car." And so we ran and grabbed 2 speakers. We plug them in, they work. I mean, like it was funny. And then I ended up stroking. And so I was like, I'm on my way over. I was thinking, you know what? It's just an 8. I can just like, be in 5 and just kind of hide. Like, nobody won't matter. It won't matter. So like then they're like, oh, well, you stroke it because they were very starboard heavy.
Oh.
So
Hmm.
most of them were starboards. So Jen and I rowed port, and then two
Hmm.
of their starboards ended up rowing port.
Yeah.
So I stroked and like I guess they always starboard rigged theirs and I was just afraid like we would have we would have been pressing our luck if we tried to starboard rig this boat. Like we'd be get
Mm.
through the rig and figure out that one of the riggers just wouldn't want to comply.
Hmm.
So we left it port rigged and then I was like, okay, let me just do a quick check because I knew we were mi using mixed blades. And I was like, I just want to make sure our inboards are going to all be the same. And I go and I measure the boat and look at the spread. And then I looked at the actual inboard that was on the oars and it was all wrong. So
Oh
I had to
no.
reset like all the oars. But then I was like, I was scared because I was like, I want to make sure I ask the GWC coach, is it okay if I change this? Because I don't know what their rig was for the 4. Luckily I was able to, they were able to figure out, but I had to reset all of these oars. And then, I mean, it was just, yeah, it was like one thing after another, but everything worked out. We got out there on the water, like we did our warm up. I haven't rowed in the 8 in so long that like it was kind of neat. Like, we were rowing up and then I was like, oh, we're at the start line. Like, how do we get here that fast? But when you're rowing in the double, it's like
Yeah.
it takes all this time. So
Yep.
'cause you row a good 2K up. but I mean, you if you row by fours on, a little row by four, a little row by four, a little row by six, and then a little bit by eight, and then
Hmm.
you're there. I was like, oh wow.
Hmm.
We spun around. Um, we took off, our stuff, and they all wore blue. So I found a blue shirt that I sort of kind of matched them, and yeah, it was good. Like we kept it together. Like we were trying to row around 26. I was probably holding more like a 27, 28 the whole time.
Hmm.
We did have someone who caught some crabs, but that was okay. Like it was
Hmm.
completely fine. Like if as long as we didn't eject anybody from the boat, we were
Yeah.
we were fine. And I mean, considering that like we caught a couple crabs, like we were probably only like a solid minute off of the lead boat. We
Hmm.
probably if we didn't catch the crabs, we probably would have beat them. Like
Wow.
it's kind
That's
of wild to
great.
think about because the
Yeah.
boat it was old. I mean, they had a handicap and it was an older group of people, but they had been that's the boat that had trained for the Charles. So it
Mm.
was, and those girls, those six girls, like they're pretty competitive. Like it was
Yeah.
funny. Like once the oars were back in their hands, they were like ready to rock and roll. So yeah, it was fun. Like I mean, it was just good to be around that type of energy and
Hmm.
like, that enthusiasm and that friendship too. Like you could just tell
Hmm.
that they're really, really like just so happy to be together and to have the chance to get out there and row. And it kind of like sparked my energy about just like getting people back out there and
Yeah.
getting as many people in that Regatta Central roster. Like I feel like that's going to be something to work on throughout the winter. And I might just continue to post um on the group like, hey, if you want to row at all during the spring, summer, if you want to row at all during 2026 with an alumni group, just get it done now. Just make do your registration now. And then you might have to take safe sport. Like that's the only thing. Like if someone hasn't kept their registration up and then they go in there to do it, like safe sport's going to take them a while. Like I think the to do the full course for safe sport, doesn't it take like 2 or 3 hours, something like that? Like it takes a while to kind of get through all those modules.
So,
Um,
yeah, I don't even know. Like, I've done like an update. Do you
yeah,
only have to do updates now once you do the
yeah.
original one?
Mhm.
Okay, yeah. I can't remember how long it took. It was a couple of years ago that I did it. But
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, it was super exciting, super fun. I can't wait
Good.
to do our eight of people.
Oh, we got to get that together. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
But I think we should start with the alumni workout together. Maybe we can get some other people too, but like try and encourage people from our generation,
exactly.
our era, I
Our
should say.
era.
Um, so were
When
most of them like still somewhere in Western New York, or are they all spread out?
they were kind of all spread out.
Hmm.
I think there were two people from here, two or three people from New Jersey,
Okay.
um, somebody from Syracuse. I think that was kind of it. But I think
Okay.
like it's just neat knowing that there's all these UB alumni around and like as I posted stuff, people were writing me and oh, who was in the boat and when's the next time we can get together and do it and so just kind of letting people know because I know like especially when your kids are small
Hmm.
makes it so hard to do something like that to break away for a whole Saturday, you know what I mean, or drive an hour or two to come and do the race and then drive an hour or two back. Like you're kind of you need a babysitter or your spouse is doing it or like so it just gets hard with those types of things. But I think what's cool about doing like kind of the local races is like the cost for registration is low. So
Yeah.
it was $18 for everybody. And I just I didn't charge the coxswain and then my friend who volunteered, I didn't charge her. So
Hmm.
so we covered the costs between us at $18 a piece. And then so it's not like the Charles where where it's like
Yeah.
like the price point's really like kind of,
Hmm.
tough for people too. So, and then it's a local race, so we can just kind of find a local boat to borrow. And it was funny because we got back to the dock and myself, I coached for Fairport Crew. Shout out to Fairport Crew. And then one of the girls, Alyssa, rode for Fairport Crew because she's from Rochester. And then my doubles partner, she coached for Fairport Crew at one point too. So Bruce was like, "Oh my gosh," he's like, "You could have borrowed a boat from me, and you could have come out here and practice." So there's just like lots of different people who would be more than happy to let us borrow equipment to do a race, especially on lift, like for lift bridge. Like we could ask them. I mean, that's at their boathouse in Fairport. We could.
When is that?
Lift Bridge is September, and usually it's the second to last um Saturday in
Okay,
September.
so maybe it was at the weekend before like Mohawk Fall Classic this year, you think?
I think so. I think so because I think yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So and that's a great little race, and that's it's well run and easy venue. Like you can park pretty close. If you bring your bike, you can watch someone row the whole course if you want. If you want to go up to the start and watch the boat and go all the way down, you could. Um, Great little village down there with ice cream and breweries and restaurants, and I don't know about like accommodations. I don't know any hotels. I mean, there's hotels in Fairport.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, I can't think of any that are in the village. The Pittsburgh Regatta is really nice because they do have the Del Monte right there, which is a hotel.
Hmm.
So, Pittsburgh Regatta is kind of infinitely easier. You can kind of park there. You could have your hotel room. There's plenty of restaurants and places to eat. And again, if you bring your bike, you can watch the whole race if you wanted to. If you could follow whatever boat down you wanted to. So,
Hmm.
um, so either of those would be really good. The next local one would be the Pittsburgh Regatta, which is Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
So
Memorial Day.
I think
Okay.
that's our only local spring race.
Yeah.
But they do have masters. So if anyone's out there who
Yeah.
wants to do that regatta, just let me know. I could talk to I know that Fairport would do boats. Genesee Waterways would probably have a boat or two in it, so we'd be able to get it was nice to do the eight. I think
Yeah.
that's a great way to kind of get out there, and smaller boats are fun, especially if
Hmm.
like people have been rowing and they want to just come out and they want to do a double or something like that. Like that would work too. Um, but yeah, and I think it was a small group for this regatta, like not a lot of out of town teams. Like I didn't see Chargers, they didn't come out for it. But they usually do the Pittsburgh regatta.
Hmm.
And then Matt from Three Rivers, like they weren't out for this one, but they usually do the Pittsburgh Regatta in the spring. And
Hmm.
that one is much more manageable. It is 1,200 meters,
Hmm.
um where this one was 4,100. So it had a lot
Yeah.
of life to it.
Yeah.
It was a good solid 17 minutes worth of work. But I mean, not for nothing. I mean, we at the beginning, like the first 1,000 meters, we were really on it. Like we were moving the boat probably at like 205, 208.
Nice.
No, it was yeah,
Okay.
it was had some decent movement to it, but I mean,
Hmm.
by the end we were like at 215, 220.
Yeah,
Like
that sounds
we
similar.
wore it out. Yeah.
I think the coxswain only called out our splits at the beginning, and I'm
Mhm.
gonna guess it was probably similar, maybe not even that. But yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
Because you start off like excited and
Mhm.
and then we just had to stop. So obviously that slows you down. But
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
mm,
But it was really fun. It was super
good.
successful. I feel like, rowing friends, we did it. We like made it happen.
Yes, we did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got the alumni boats out there both times too because we were able to help with getting a couple we got you and then getting
Mm-hmm. Lisa
Lisa
joined. Yep.
to do that too. So we helped fill some seats. So
Hmm.
we can continue to do that. I think, like I said, for these simple local regattas, like
Hmm.
it's a no-brainer. If people are around and they want an opportunity to get out and row,
Hmm.
um, we'd love to have people out there.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. So has Hannah's season wrapped up? Is she all set now? Like, I,
Yeah, so both of them, yeah, they're done. So yesterday Keegan went to the boathouse to like just move some boats around. The docks are out. Um, they did something. Oh, they had the mod champs this weekend up at the Fish Creek, and I wasn't there. Chris took Keegan up there to help out, and it was very cold.
Yeah.
Um, and windy, and my
Yeah.
other friend has a son who's an eighth grader, so he was racing. Um, so that's done. And then, yeah, so now we're just waiting to find out officially what we're doing for winter. I'm hoping we hear back soon so we can get that registration out. And then we're still working on our winter trip. Hopefully that will all work out. The biggest thing is just the cost of transportation down there because we always get a bus. But we usually go down with Burnt Hills, and I don't know if they're going down this year. So that's the cost will be an issue because it fit nicely when we had both teams to spread the cost out, and then we all kind of fit within the bus. But then the thing is that you have to pay for like the bus driver to basically live down there with you
Um,
because, they're with the bus and then, so it's a huge cost, but yeah, so we're figuring all that out. So that's kind of what's happening now. And then with the Masters, I don't know what's happening. I don't know. I know the coach had said something about starting a little earlier this year, so there wasn't such a huge time gap in between fall and winter. So looking out for that. I'll probably do that again. I don't know why, but I do really like, I think it's because the winter, it just gives you something. I
yeah.
mean, ask me if I'd rather be on the water rowing versus inside with indoor workouts. I would choose the water, but it also just seems like life is just so much crazier
Yeah.
during the on water seasons. At least this stage of my life with the two kids being high schoolers and not having an independent driver yet. Until that happens, it's been, it's challenging getting myself to practice. But in the winter, it's a lot more doable. So, it can be a little bit more consistent with the workouts. And it's just nice to like not come home and like want to crawl under the covers on the couch and warm up. Like, it gets me out of the house and keeps me moving, which is important.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I don't mind winter for the most part, but that is something that I notice like I have to push myself a little bit more because
I know.
I do like getting all cozy and,
I
you
know, like
know.
the coziness of like the other day, like even just getting back from the regatta, I was like, ooh, maybe I'll take a bath, like
Mm.
warm up and just like warm up from the inside. Like, oh my gosh, like that's the hard part about like even like this morning when I went out running, like that first step outside and you feel how cold it is, and I'm like, okay, all right, just start running because like once I
Hmm.
get the feet going and it'll warm up and but like yeah.
Hmm.
I miss the warm. I miss the, yeah, I miss the summertime. I wish I miss the like sunshine. Like, but with
Hmm.
daylight savings time and like, because I have to wake up early to like let my mom's caregiver in. And
Hmm.
like the last couple weeks, I've been having to like wake up and make sure I turn the front porch light on because otherwise you can't see the front door. Like it's dark. It's like nighttime. But with the daylight savings time, we're back to it being light out and I don't have to turn the lights on anymore. So, but then at the end of the day, it's like 4 o'clock and it's black. It's
Yeah.
like dark. So that'll be weird because especially today will be my first day. Well, I guess last week it was kind of dark when I left the clinic. So it's gonna start being dark at night. And luckily the clinic's in a good spot where I'm like, I'm not concerned about it being dark and me walking to the
Mhm.
car and stuff like that by myself. Like it's in a good area. So I'm not concerned. But just kind of like, yeah, like you'll be inside all day and then like the day is over when you come
Yeah.
out. So
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, they take out the docks at GWC this weekend.
Hmm.
I need to go down there and get my single and bring it
Oh,
back.
yeah.
So I ended up using it like 3 or 4 times,
Okay.
kind of ho-hum.
Mm.
And I probably and I probably would have used it 3 or 4 times if I left it at my house.
Well,
So I think next year I'm not gonna rack it.
okay.
I think I'm gonna leave it at home and
Hmm.
plop it on top of the car and take it over to the bay and wet launch it and just paddle around a little bit. Like we'll see. Like if we'll see if I do that more than, but I mean the thing is like when I go down to the boathouse, usually I'm rowing in the double, either with a client or I'm rowing with my doubles partner. And then like once I've gone out in the double, I'm not going back up into the boathouse, grabbing the single and then going out in the single for a little bit, which I guess I
Yeah.
could have done, but sometimes you know how like when you go down the boathouse to go for a row and it takes up a bunch of time like
Yes.
it takes me like 25 minutes to get down there and then it takes 15 minutes to get your equipment out, get the boat in the water, you do an hour and a half workout, you have your 15, 20 to put everything back in and then you get back in the car. It's 3 hours later. So it's like by the time I get back home and then like of course I'm working on the clinic and I there's so many things that like when you have your own business you can kind of like there's so many things you can do that like every idea then becomes like a priority and I'm kind of like, oh, well, I didn't work on this and I didn't work on that. And I spent 3 hours on rowing and I'm kind of like,
Hmm.
so spending an additional like doing that twice a week, 3 hours to row in the double and then 3 hours to row in the single, like it just wouldn't happen. So, but I guess it was a good lesson to learn that, I had it down there so I could have taken it out. Like there were
Hmm.
times when I was like, oh, I should take the single out. And then I was like, I'm going home. Especially when I was like, the bigger thought was like while I was still treating down there, I was like, oh, after I'm done
Mm.
treating people, I could take it out for a half hour or something like that. But like,
Yeah.
my life
Yeah.
is too busy. I'd have to like, I'd pack up from treating and then like have to go get a kid from somewhere, or drop somebody
Right.
off or pick something up or have an appointment or something. So that's the hard part about like having the single and like using it enough. Like,
Hmm.
because you have to like make that time for it.
Oh,
So
sure. Yeah. I mean, our single's been in the boathouse since 2001, and there were years when we didn't use it at all, you know? So,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, you have to justify it. And I was thinking to myself,
Hmm.
like, oh, if I row this one and I get a bunch of rowing with it, then I can get something nicer. And I'm like, nope, you didn't row it enough.
Yeah.
Like, if you got something nicer, you'd have two boats just sitting.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
But what do we have on the docket coming up soon?
Well, that is a good question because we are at the end of most seasons. So I don't know. I think just I love like your plans for what's going on with your business and the crew lab training and yeah, I don't know. We'll have to think of that and bring something up next time.
Yeah, yeah. And we have a whole list of topics that
Hmm.
we made at one point, and we
We
haven't
do.
we haven't
Yeah,
really
we'll
we've
have
been
to
doing
get
updates.
creative.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've been doing updates, like, 'cause
Yes.
it's been the season. So now the season's kind of like rolling back. We will get out all of our topics that we planned on talking about and start doing some
Yes.
podcasts on those. And we'll keep working on guests because
Yep.
with the season being over, we should be able to catch some of these coaches that we wanted to talk to. And then
Hmm.
also I wanted to try to get the alumni who did the race with me. I was going to see if we can kind of do maybe a round table with them, or we'll catch a couple of them at one point, a couple of them at another
Oh,
point,
yeah.
and do kind of get their background on what was it like to row for UB when they rowed for UB? Because I mean, I'm sure it was totally different. They were talking about like, oh, remember we went to Virginia? And I was like, oh my gosh, like they just like their experience was totally different than what we
Right.
experienced. So it'd be really great to talk to them and chronicle all of that information and
Yeah.
capture all that history because the team really went through a lot of different iterations and
Yeah.
different changes. So what happened when we were there is very different from they were, I think they may have rowed in 20, they said that they hadn't rowed in 11 years. So
Okay.
was that 2015, 2016 then?
I think they said they are all like 15 grads, right?
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
what they said. Yeah.
So yeah,
So
that
right before
oh
it
yeah.
ended. Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So I wonder if they have any insight into that. And I know it seemed like it was abrupt, but maybe they had some warning that would
Mm.
potentially would be something that would be ending. But yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. I'll see if we can get some of the Charles boat. Those are oh
Oh yeah.
05 mostly graduates, so
Oh my gosh.
get them
Yeah.
on. Hmm.
Get them on too. So yeah, so we can get a couple different interviews going for the downtime.
Hmm.
It's kind of like the in between and then ramping up for winter training.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
All
I
right.
should get going. I should,
Yep.
yeah, get ready to go to the clinic for the day, which is a good thing. So
Good.
very excited that I've got a full day at the clinic. Yay, we're bringing
Yay.
the schedule back up. So, but thanks so much, and we'll be in touch. And I'll keep sending emails out to everybody and see who we can get to come on the podcast soon. So,
All
yeah,
right.
keep listening,
Sounds good.
everybody. And if you want
Yeah.
to be on the podcast, you're listening, and you would like to chat about your rowing experiences, please send us an email or drop a comment in the comment section or and what is it? Like and follow
Like,
for podcasts.
yes, depending on if,
Know that,
yeah,
right?
follow. And then if you're on, I haven't done anything with the Instagram, so maybe we can get going on that
Oh
too.
yeah, get the Instagram stuff going too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Very good. Have a great week, Kate.
You too, Adrian.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Take care.